Welcome learners. Today we are going to discuss about the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981. So the Indian government has enacted the specific laws under the Article 253 of the Constitution for the preservation of the natural resources and the law enacted for the preservation or prevention of air prevention and control of air pollution act was in 1981. So under this act, uh, the prevention, control and abatement of air pollution for the establishment with a view to carry out the aforesaid purposes of the boards for conferring or and assigning to such board powers and function relating thereto and for the matters connected. Basically, under this act, the government has enacted the boards, state or central pollution control boards, for making the laws, for going for the penalties, for various clauses, and for developing the or framing the emission parameters for the air pollution. So the Air Pollution Prevention and Control of Pollution Act enacted in 1981 and later on it was amended in 1987 to provide for the prevention, control and abatement of air pollution in India. Basically, these two acts, first one is the Water Pollution Act, which we discussed yesterday, and this Air Pollution Act, they only came after the first Earth Summit in Stockholm 1972, which was based on the pollution, uh, and thereafter the Indian government has framed these two acts for reducing or preserving the water and air from the pollution that has been generated from the various sectors or various sources. A brief about the Central Pollution Control Board. This is constituted under the Section 3 of Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974. So this shall, without prejudice, prejudice to exercise and to perform its powers and function under the Act, to exercise the power and perform the functions of Central Pollution Control Board for prevention and control of the Air Pollution Act. Basically, this board was constituted under the Water Act, but it also controls or have the various sections about the, it was created under the Water Act, but it also controls or frames the various parameters of air. Similarly, the state pollution control boards were constituted under the Section 4 of the Act of 1974, and they must be called as state pollution control boards. And they basically, we have discussed it yesterday, the power of the state framing the state control pollution control boards is only with the government. So there are certain clauses when the parliament has power to frame the guidelines or frame the members of the state pollution control boards that we have discussed in the water law. So giving the arrangement of sections, this law is basically framed in 7 chapters and have 54 sections. First chapter is preliminary and it contains section 1 and 2, and then chapter 2 contains central and state boards for the prevention and control of pollution from section 3 to 15. And then chapter 3 consists of powers and functions of boards, that is from the section 16 to 18. And chapter 4, it's basically prevention and control of air pollution from section 19 to 31. And chapter 5 is funds, audit and accounts, section 32 to 36. And then penalties and procedure in chapter 6 from section 37 to 46. And miscellaneous in chapter 7 under the section 47 and 54. So this is the arrangement of various sections and chapters of water this air prevention and control of pollution act 1981. So under this act, the state boards have been are to be framed. So basically, if you remember the scheme of the framing, there are 17 members of the state pollution control board. Same is also implements here. So there is 1 plus 5 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 scheme. So the first one is the chairman. It is the person who has special knowledge and practical experience with respect to the environmental protection, and it's nominated by the state government. Then the five members of the state government may think fit to be nominated by the state government to represent the government. So these are the five members that are to be nominated by the state government, and the other five members that all also nominated by the state government, but they are from the local authorities like local urban bodies. And five besides these five members, there are three members from the state government that they fit that they find or they think they are fit to be nominated in the state pollution control boards. They are from the agriculture, fishery, or industry, or trade, or labor, whatever is related with the air pollution. They represent these sectors, and the last two members, they represent from the corporate sector. And basically, within the state, the corporate sectors, companies uh, owned and managed by the state government to be nominated by the government. And the last one is the full-time member secretary having such qualifications, knowledge, and experience of scientific engineering and management. So these are all uh, 1 plus 5 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 scheme. There are 17 members of the state pollution control boards. So, provided the state government shall ensure not less than two members having specific knowledge or practical experience in respect to matters to the improvement and quality of prevention and control of abatement of pollution. So, every state pollution control board constituted under this act shall be a body corporate with the names specified by the state government in the notification issued under subsection 1, having perpetual succession and common seal with the power subject to provision of this act to acquire and dispose of the property and to contract and may be the said name sue or suit. So these were the various kind of constitutional state board. So now what are the functions of the central board? So first is to advise the central government on any matter concerning improvement of the quality of air and prevention, control, and abatement of air pollution. So in the Water Act, it was the abatement of water pollution, and here it is abatement of air pollution. So second function is to plan and execute nationwide programs for prevention, control, or abatement of air pollution. So the nationwide programs may be the seminars, symposium, workshops, or it can be the conferences. Basically, it to develop or to how to execute the various programs on the national scale, and then to coordinate the activities between various states and resolve disputes among them. So there are the disputes between various states regarding the air pollution. So the central board have the I mean the duty to coordinate such activities, and then to provide technical assistance and guidance to state boards, carry out and sponsor research relating to the problems of air pollution and prevention, control, and or abatement of air pollution. Then to plan and organize the training of persons engaged in program for controlling the pollution. Then to organize through mass media a comprehensive program regarding the prevention, control, or abatement of pollution. So next one is to collect, compile, and publish the technical and statistical data relating to the air pollution and measures to devise it for its effective prevention, and then to lay down the standards for the quality of air, and last one to collect, disseminate information in respect matters relating to the air pollution. So these are all the functions of the Central Pollution Control Board. So what are the functions of the State Pollution Control Board? Same like the Central Pollution Control Board, they advise the state government on any matter concerning for the prevention and control or abatement of pollution, and they are to inspect air quality in air pollution control area for time to time and to take necessary actions to prevent and control the air pollution. So these were the functions of state boards and the central boards. So, what are the powers of the pollution control boards? So, under section 19, boards can declare any area as air pollution control area. Like the central board has notified the national capital territory of Delhi as the air pollution control area by the central government. So, the domain of the air pollution control in the national capital territory, not whole Delhi, but NCT, is under the central government. So basically under the Central Pollution Control Board. So under this section, the government approves approved fuels should be used in air pollution control area. So in such areas, the government which have approved the certain kind of fuels that might be used within a specific area should only be used. So any other fuels if are used, then it can be the gross violation of the Air Pollution Act. So then a next one is it is necessary to take up clearance certificate from the boards before setting up an industry. So if you are going to set up an industry in certain area, then you have to take clearance certificate, NOC certificate from the boards. Maybe it is in jurisdiction of the state pollution control board or central pollution control board. Then the board has powers to take emission samples from any industry for analysis. Surprise visit can happen to an industry for the collection of the samples. It is same in also in the water. Then the samples of the water and air can be taken, and then analysis can be done, and then later on, if there is any violation in the certain kind of parameters, then they can that can lead to a penalty or shutting down the business if it is a gross violation. So the boards can issue directions to respective authorities under the Motor Vehicles Act regarding standards for the motor emissions. So these were the various powers of the pollution control boards. And then the last one is the penalties under this section. So under this act, under the section 37 of this act, any person failing to comply with the provisions of section 21 or 22 or directions issued under section 31 can be imprisoned for 1.5 year to 6 years with a fine of rupees 5,000 per day. So under the section 37, the penalties have been discussed, but there are certain directions in section 21 or 22. If those directions, for example, emission standards have been violated, then um, there are certain directions in section 21, 22, and 31A. If these directions have been violated, then under section 37 of this act, it can lead to an imprisonment to 1.5 year to 6 years, or with a fine of 5,000 per day. So if the violation continues beyond 1 year, then imprisonment can be increased up to the 7 years or with fine. So these are the various kinds of penalties. And under section 39 of this act, whoever contravenes any of the provision of this act for which no penalty have been elsewhere provided in this act shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend up to 3 months, or with a fine which may extend up to 10,000, or uh, with both. So these were the various kinds of penalties depending upon the what kind of violation had to be done or is to be done, and by certain industry or a person. So it can lead to a penalty or the imprisonment. So this was very brief about the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you.